Alrighty. G'day everyone. Welcome back to Fishcoin channel. Tonight we are crossing live over to France to say g'day to the French guys, and we will introduce them to start with. First up, we've got Pierre Kunz, who is a current
Hi everyone.
individual world champion. We've got THIERRY, mate, I hope I say your name right, who's actually the Vice President of the World Fly Fishing Championship and Team Manager of France. And then we have Antoine, who's the Secretary of the World Fly Fishing Championships and also in charge of the communications and environment. Awesome, guys. Welcome to the show. Let's cross over to you first, Pierre. And mate, as a competitor, bud, how's training preparations going on your side as a competitor? And have you been doing much?
Now, at that moment now, because it's winter, so we did not train a lot. We spend some time to prepare flies, so we time some flies. But we have trained during the two past years. So we have trained in each sectors of the World Championship. And also we have already done some competition, some national competition on each one of the sectors. So we had trained a lot, and for sure we will train a lot this year because now it's the time to train more and more to be prepared for the day.
How often do you guys try and get out and train as a team and competitors?
How often with the team? Not so much. Um, because we live not so close together, so we try to train together one or two times a year. But we train a lot, each one in our region.
All right, cool. We've got Jonas here. It says hello, everybody, and Philip. Hey, Zach. I hope I said your name right, mate. Salute, he said. Let's cross over to THIERRY. Hi, mate. So you are the Vice President of the World Fly Fishing Championships and Team Manager of France. Mate, can you tell us a little bit about, what your role in the fly fishing championships are as Vice President, and what sort of things do you take care of?
Yes, thank you, Josh. Yes, for us, it's a really an important event in France because this is only the second time we host the World Fly Fishing Championship. So the first time was in 2002 in the Vosges department. So it was a long time ago. And we were thinking about hosting this World Championship since 3-4 years now. And we prepare everything. We challenge the feasibility to host this World Championship in the good conditions because we want to promote the equity for all competitors. We wanted to be sure that everybody, all organization, administration in our region were able to follow us in the organization of this World Championship. And we don't want a championship, a cheap championship. We would like to have something great. And also because there is a Olympic game in France. So this is really important for us to promote the fly fishing activities and our fashion in France at this time of the year, and especially in 2024.
Awesome. Well, mate, what as a team manager, so just so people get an understanding, like what sort of duties do you take care of outside of competition and during competition as a team manager?
So as a team manager, my main role is to be sure that each of the member will be well prepared for the competition, for sure. And I would like to avoid to bore them with some staff or some duties or responsibilities they could have besides the fly fishing. So I want them be focused on the strategy, on the fly fishing, on the training, and all other things are under my responsibility.
Nice, awesome. Well, that gives people a little bit of an insight on like team manager's role and stuff like that. Let's cross down to we'll say, oh, I'm not sure where Antoine has gone. Here he is. He's back again. That was my fault. So here he is, Antoine. That's how. Is that how I say it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Antoine,
cool. Mate, well, welcome. Now your role is in charge of the communications and the environmental side. Mate, can you tell us a little bit about basically what that means for both, like communications and then the environmental side, so people have an understanding?
Yeah, it's two roles very different. For communication, mainly it's the maybe you have seen the website, so it's in charge of the website of all the communication supports and our Instagram page, our Facebook page, our YouTube page. So it's a huge work. And for environment, another part, maybe because I'm working in environmental for every day, and we have authorizations for our championship in France because we are in specific mountain environment, and we at the beginning we really did want to have ecological awareness and to have to be an example for all the other championship. So environment, it's a huge work, and maybe during the championship you will see all the conferences, the expositions, and all the measures that we want to take for this specific edition in France.
Awesome, cool. Well,
If I may, Josh, just to reinforce what Antoine just said, for us it was a very important topic for the organization of this championship. First, we will evolve in the natural park in the Pyrenees. So this is a specific area which is very, very protected by some organization. So we cannot do what we want. So and we want to minimize the impact of this competition on this environment. So for sure, this is the first ambition we have. And the second one is we would like to promote an eco-responsible practice of the fly fishing activities in France, meaning that we want to introduce some new rules like the use of a tippet collector, which will be mandatory for this championship. So each competitor won't have the right to throw away its piece of tippet in the water. So this will be the kind of rules we want to adopt for this competition. And the second part is also about the logistic. We will promote the short link between the service provider and the competition, like the food will come from the region of Occitanie. All actors will be from the region of Occitanie. So it will be very important for us, and this is why we have signed the charter of the 15 eco-responsible engagement, which is a charter promoted by the Ministry of Sport in France, which is really important because it's also a charter applicable for the Olympic Games. So,
nice.
and yes, and this is really something we are very proud because we were the first event signing this charter at the national level, and this is something very, very great for us, and it has an effect, also a ripple effect to the FIPS, because they are looking at very carefully what we are doing now, because they will take the best practice and apply this practice to the next championships, and also in France, because some federation of fishing, which are the federations that are managing the fishing practice in France, are also adopting some rules in the way the fishing is practiced in France. So this is very important.
Cool. Now, if anyone is watching and they've got any questions, make sure you drop it in the chat for us, and we'll try and get those questions across. But just while we've got you on there, Thierry, is there any changes in the rules or anything like that from last year's?
You mean a change in the rules?
Change in the rules of the fishing.
But the use of the tippet collector is one, for sure. But there is not so many rules added in the FIPS rules, except that we will fish two leg sector from the bit. From the bank, sorry, and this is a very specific in France how we can fish from the bank, because we don't have to put a finger in the water, so you have to stay on the bank. You cannot even jump on a rock, which will be a dry rock, a few meters, so you cannot fish from these rocks. So you have to stay on the bank. So this is the kind of rules we will have. This is very specific, and this is a rules that is applicable for all fishermen in France. This is not specific for the competition. But we are obliged, in fact, to adopt also these rules in our competition rules.
Cool. Now, this is probably what everyone's been waiting for, is we want to have a bit of a chat about the sectors, guys. So make sure if you're watching, make sure you drop in a question if you got any. But let's have a bit of a talk about the sectors. You guys, doesn't matter who jumps in, who wants to have a talk about it. But let's cross over to Sector 1. If I do believe it's at the start. Sector 1, just here. I think this is it here. River Victosos. Is that right?
That's all right.
And maybe as an introduction before, maybe Antoine, you will present the sector. But what we wanted also for this competition is to select sector according to some criteria. The first criteria was the quality of fishing on the sectors, and we are very keen about the quality and the good quality and how the fishing will be during the championship. So this is the best period to fish the sectors, for sure. There are only wild fishes in all sectors. There won't be stockfish. So you will be fishing only wild fishes, and so I will let Antoine to introduce the species in each sector. And we want also to have a kind of diversity about the profile of the sector, in order to ensure that each people will have to practice different techniques of fly fishing, and not only nymphing. Dry flies, wet fly, everything will be, and sight fly fishing also will be some techniques that could work on some of the sectors.
Oh, well, just before Anton jumps in there, Antoine, I should say, we've got Philippe has asked a question: how many people is going to be involved for the organisation, and what for? Anyone
I
can answer that one.
Yeah, I can answer. For the organization, we are 25 in the team, the organization team, and in this 25, we are 5 in the commission, the official commission, with the president, vice president, secretary, and the treasurer.
Financial.
Yeah, financial. Thank you, Thierry. And during the championship, we need volunteers, and we are 150 volunteers for being controllers, official controllers, and other volunteers for village relay. I don't know how to say in English, but the city hosts with animations in the 3 departments, and other volunteers for logistics. So it's 200 person during the week.
200.
Yeah, 200 and
Awesome.
25 for organizations since 2-3 years now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question there, Philip. Antoine, you might want to tell us a little bit about Sector 1, like, you know, what sort of fish species do you find in that river? We're going to ask. You go.
In this river, it takes place in Ariège department, more on the west of our sectors. Only brown trout here in the video, so with very transparent water and selective trout. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge at this river. Maybe Thierry can compete, but
it's plenty of fish.
Yeah.
What's
So
the average size?
It's plenty of fishes. It's not. It's one of the most beautiful river we have in the Ariège department. This is really a diamond.
Yeah.
So we love it, and we have about 20 kilometers that will be dedicated for the competition during the official week. And the fishing will be forbidden, and during this week it will be reserved for the competitors. So we are in France, so we can face also some reluctant people.
Yeah. So what's the sort of average size of fish in this river? Is it like a 20 centimeters? Is it like 35, 40?
Not so big fish, but I would say between 18 and 30 most of the time. You can find some biggest one, but not often.
Okay, cool. And like in this river, what sort of depth can you sort of expect? Is it sort of the same depth most of the way, or is there like deep pockets, like a lot of deep pockets?
No, not deep. No,
and they are very different sectors. Most of the sectors are not so deep, so you fish shallow water in between 20 and 80 centimeter depth. But in some sectors they are big holes, so it depends. You can find some different morphology of river here.
All right, nice.
It's less than 2 meters.
How long will the beats be in this river?
So it's a good point, because I don't know if everybody is aware about the organization of the competition. It will be a session of 4 hours, but it will be split in 2 hours. So you will fish 2 beats. The 2 beats won't be fished before. So you will fish 1 beat, which is about a beat is about 350 meters during 2 hours, and then the next 2 hours you will fish another beat, which will be upstream, and it won't be fish before, so it will be a virgin beat, which is really important compared to what we did in Slovakia. and the controller will be in charge to transport to vehicles, to provide a lift to the next bit to the competitor, because we need a car to go to the next bit.
And how long do they get between each beat? Is it 30 minutes or?
The rotation will be 1 hour and 15 minutes on this sector, but on the other sector it will be 1 hour and 30 minutes. But usually you need less than for the Victoso, less than 20 minutes to commute. So it will be very easy, and you have time. You have time for lunch also between during the rotation. So you have time.
Awesome.
No urgency.
Now, Pierre, how many fish is going to have to be caught in this river on the first day to be in the top, say, 5 or top 10?
It's quite hard to say because in this river trout can be I don't know the word in English, but capricious. So some days it's
Selective.
quite easy. Sometimes it's very very hard. So maybe if the conditions are hard, 10 fish is very good. Maybe if the conditions are best, 25 is better. So
if you had this river your first day, what would be your target? Would you have a target, or would you just go, right, I'm just going to go fish after fish?
25.
yeah, the target is always the best, but it depends on the condition of the time. So the more fish we will catch, more we will be happy.
But usually during the national championship, it's about between, I should say, 18, 20 fishes in average. So
Nice. So we've got Gidgius here, who's asked, which shoe sole is better for these rivers? Is it the rubber or the felt?
good question. Now, in fact, definitively felt is better, because if you want to avoid slipping in the water, so felt is better.
Now, you probably, as a competitor, Pierre, you're probably going to get bombarded with questions, mate. But Jonas has thrown one in there and said, how would Pierre fish this river?
One more time, it will depend on the condition, but I will not answer this question, but I will invite people to come to see. If they want.
Nice.
No, in fact, it really depends on the condition.
Yep, exactly.
All fly fishing techniques are working. It really depends on the condition. It's a nice river for dry fly fishing, for sure. But the trouts are to be ready to accept dry fly fishing. So
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's sector 1. A bit of a chat about sector 1. Let's move on to, let's see if I can get up sector 2, which I believe is coming up next. Yeah. Is this sector 2?
We can move on a little bit
to the lake. Yeah. So lake.
To discover the lake.
So okay. So this is the lakes. Let's go, Antoine. I will let you.
Yeah, maybe I can introduce. And it's not a lake, Carlit. It's different, numerous lakes in Carlit Mountain. Maybe we have 12 lakes, I think.
Yeah.
Beautiful landscape in mountain. Very, beautiful with fauna, flora. And in this lake, we have brown trout and rainbow trout. It is a specific strain of rainbow trout introduced in France in the 1920s, and it is the only strain of rainbow trout to be able to reproduce in France and directly in these lakes. So competitors are going to fish specific native rainbow trouts and brown trouts in these lakes.
And what would you what would you think will be caught more? Will it be browns or rainbows?
Maybe our two fishermen tonight will be the answer. So
Depends.
Maybe brown.
depends. Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe not, but it depends on the lake, I think.
Yes.
What?
Because people are to be aware that, as Antoine mentioned, that the competition will be on several lakes. We have 6 lakes that are dedicated for the competition. This one is the biggest one, and for the time being, we don't know yet if it will be part of the competition because we have some doubt about the quality of the fishing on this lake. It's a very huge one and not easy to fish. And we are not sure that this one, which is a liat, will be on the competition. But the other lakes are smaller than this one and more easy to fish and more beautiful than this one. And plenty of fishes.
What sort of size are the fish in this lake? Are we looking at 40 centimeters, 20?
You can
Most
reach.
of the time it's 20, 25 fish, but they have some biggest fish, especially in this one. So the yacht one with which Thierry was speaking. In this lake, we have some very big one, more than 50 centimeters. But I don't think that competitor will catch it during
Try it.
competition because they are very hard to catch. So most of the time it's between 20 and 30.
Do you think the biggest fish for the competition will come out of this lake, or?
Good question.
Maybe in sector
It could be in the river also, because in the other sector or in the TET there is also a big fish. So, and
Nice.
also an important information is this sector and also the other sector, lake sector, the Camporels, will be above 2,200 meters of altitude level. So it's really important for the team to be well prepared physically because they will have to hike in the mountains. This is a nice period. Usually the temperature is it's acceptable, but we don't know what will be the meteo at the time of the competition. But usually in June, this is the best moment to fish the lakes, and we can face some storm. This is the reason why we are focusing concentrating the competition time in the morning or early in the afternoon to be sure that everybody will leave the lakes before 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Nice. And is this a really, really deep lake, or is it quite shallow?
No, some of them are very deep and some others are not. So it's very, very different.
Okay, cool.
But yeah. Okay, sorry.
You go.
No, you're welcome.
I was just going to say that it's going to be interesting to see how the lakes fish, because they're usually the tough sectors, aren't they, in the competition?
Sorry.
Jonas has just commented we're going to have a snowstorm during the competition. Bit like Tasmania.
No, in June in France, we don't have snowstorm.
We are not
storm maybe, but no snow.
All right, let's move on to sector 3, which I believe is towards the end of this video. You can tell me when I'm near it.
All is the sector 3. Yeah.
Sector 3. Is it River
No,
Chat?
it was before. It was
before.
Back.
It was at the first. Yeah.
So we'll just head back.
Not this
is this
one.
it?
No, this is the Vic d'Osso. This one.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is River Tet.
Yes.
Cool. So give us a little rundown on this one. It looks like there's a lot more boulders and stuff in this one.
Yeah, maybe the profile is different, but it's similar to Vic d'Osso with only brown shoots. And we are in the second department, Pyrénées Oriental. Yeah, I didn't precise for the lakes, but we are in Pyrénées Oriental, the most eastern department. And this river is not a river, yet it's a stream because it ends directly in the Mediterranean, in the sea. And maybe Thierry, you can complete for the population of brown trout.
There is really two profiles in this river. The downstream profile, so where will be the first round of the 2 hours of the session, the river is quite large, with some flats and big streams. So it's really different. And on the photo, so this is upstream, and the river has a vertical profile, which is more vertical than the one from the Vic d'Osso, and the stream maybe more quicker than for the Vic d'Osso.
Yeah, and compared to Vic d'Osso, this river is a little bit. The stream is powerful, and there are a little bit more of water.
Okay, and the fish sizes, are they all sort of similar size in each river, or?
Yeah, I would say it's similar. We have a lot of smallest one, a few biggest one. Quite similar from Vic d'Osso, I would say.
Which river do you think is going to be the most popular?
Good question. According to the competition we have, we catch more fish in the tête, but it's not totally sure that it will be the same for the World Championship because of the minimum size of the fish which are countable, and we will see also if the meteorological condition will be good for fishing or not in this place.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So if anyone else has got any questions, just drop them down in the chat. So we may as well move on to the next sector, sector 4. You might guys have to help me, but I think, is it next on the video?
No, this is the Comporels after. Yeah.
So sector 4 is Comporels?
Yeah, another lake sector. Yeah, this one.
This is the Comporels.
Okay, let's look.
Yeah, we can stop with this beautiful view.
Yeah.
This is the view that the competitors will see at their high level, and then they have to work to hike to the lakes. As for Carlit Lakes, we have several lakes for Comporels, but for this one we have only brown trouts, native brown trouts. Maybe for me, but I know this is the same for Thierry. They have the most beautiful lakes in the Pyrenees. The landscape are incredible. Yeah, you can only see. You can just see.
Yeah,
this
looks
is awesome. Yeah.
Looks beautiful. Jonas has come up with a question: why are the rotations on the rivers?
This is for equity. In fact, in the river, due to the fact that we are in the mountains, the beats that are upstream are good at the end of the morning or beginning of the afternoon, and the beat downstream are better early in the morning. So if we have one rotation, no rotation, so there is a discrepancy between beats, and it's not good for the equity. So we want to respect the equity. This is something we are fighting with the FIPS in order to for them to adopt our proposal. And the condition was really that the second beat is not fished during the first 2 hours. So this is the case. This is what we are proposing, and you want to be sure that all upstream bits won't be fished before, and you will fish them between 12 and 2 o'clock p.m. So this is the best moment in June to fish upstream.
Yeah, and more that the specific part of implementation is and equity, it's a chance for competitors because this system allows them to fish two profiles of a single river, and yeah, it's very interesting for fishing. We hope that it will be the best and very pleasant for them.
Awesome. Now, now, because you're so high up, like, does it get really rough up there, or is it pretty good with like the wind? Is it quite calm?
It depends.
Depends, yeah.
During a storm, yeah, it's very windy.
Oh, all right. Well, let's move on to Sector 5, which is a river. Let me know when I'm there. Is this it?
Yeah, maybe in the video you can stop on a bridge over the.
This one?
No, sorry, not this one.
This
Not
is
this
another
one?
bridge.
This is the Tête river.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
Be back.
This one.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, so this is River Aude, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, another time it's a stream and not a river. It's the same for fishermen. So River Aude, maybe with the deepest part in comparison with the two other rivers. And the specificity, we have brown trout and grayling that can reproduce in this river, thanks to the efforts of the local federation of fishing. And maybe we have the biggest fishes of the championship in this river. Now Thierry and Pierre can precise, but I think we have brown shoots which reach maybe 50, 60 centimeters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think in this river there will be the biggest fish of the championship. I think maybe almost for the river part. And as you can see on the picture, here the morphology of the river is quite different from the two other. So the water is more calm, and you will find a big and long stream, like typical for grayling fishing.
Nice. And do there a lot of hatches? Is there a lot of dry fly fishing on this river, or?
Yeah.
As for the river, it
Could
depends.
be. No, it could be. This is why we selected this river, and also the Vic d'Osso. They are very nice river for dry fly fishing. So it really depends of the conditions. So we will see. This is the best period normally to fish this kind of river. But for sure, we are expecting some dry fly. We know that the French team is very good, really good in dry fly fishing. So
we saw that last year when we saw Pierre in Slovakia.
Yes.
Of course. Awesome, guys. It's the venues are looking pretty good. How's the preparation at each venue? Is there a lot that you have to do at each sector?
Yeah. In fact, what the complexity is really from the fact that we don't have a huge hotel with a high level of standing in this area. So we are facing a lack of this kind of hotel. And the team will be disseminated in some luxurious chalet or loft, which is quite difficult to organize for each team, to host each team in a chalet with the same condition for everybody, which is quite difficult. They will be based in Font-Romeu, and the headquarters of the competition will be at the Chalet des Erelles, which is a chalet used during the winter by the former city for hosting all the organization of the skiing station, etc. So this is a huge chalet, which is less than 5 minutes drive from Rome city in the mountains, and everything will be at this chalet, the ceremony. And the opening and closing ceremony, and also the diner, the breakfast, the bus departure, arrivals will be at this chalet. So each team will have to take their car to go to their accommodation from this chalet.
Okay.
Come to this chalet. So this is unfortunately one of the complexity of the World Championship. The other one is all the river and sector, sorry, will be disseminated in 3 departments, meaning that there are some buses, transportation that are organized, and to reach each of the river, as an example, it will be about 1 hour buses, 1 hour 15 if there is some traffic, but 1 hour. It's a road in the mountains, so it's not easy to jump from one valley to another valley, for sure. And for the lake, so for the Carlit, it will be easy because it's less than 20 minutes or 30 minutes to go to the Bouillouse, which will be the starting point from the hike to go to the lake. And the hike will be for the farthest bit, it will be 1 hour and 15 minutes to go there. But the guys that will start at this bit will finish at the closest bit from the hotel, from the bus. So, and
So they go work back.
yes, for the other one, so it will be. And for the Camporels, it will be quite different because the Camporels, we have a specific authorization to use the telecabin, which are some cabin used for skiing. So they will move to a certain point in the mountains, and then we will have buses that will bring them to another point on the mountain, and they will have to go down to the refuge at one lake, which will be the meeting point. And we will also propose some cars that will bring all the materials from the competitor to the refuge. So they don't need to take care about their materials. They will be in some specific car, and they will find them, meet their material at the refuge.
Cool. Now we've got. Let's get some predictions, eh? Let's start with Pierre, mate. What's your predictions? Top 3 teams in order.
Yeah, for this year, for sure, I hope France will win.
Yeah.
And in the second and third, I think we will see maybe Czech and Spain, or Spain and Czech. I don't know. As usual, I think this 3 team will be very very good, and the 3 team could win. But for sure, I hope for France win this time.
Let's say 3 in order. See how you go. France first.
I will say France, Spain, and Czech.
France, Spain, Czech. What about you, Antoine?
Yeah, maybe I know we are in the Pyrenees, so France and Spain, they are the 2 countries around Pyrenees, and yeah, very good fishermen. So I think, yeah, I hope, but I am the organization, so I can't I can't say France first, but maybe for my personal hope, yeah, France first, Spain too, and maybe we know Republic Czech, but maybe, yeah, our neighbors, Belgium, maybe.
Okay, awesome. What about you, Thierry?
Of course, so So yeah, I would love that France also will win this championship and by team, but also in individual. So my objectives will be to have at least two guys on the individual podium. So this is my objectives. After that, if I cannot meet I cannot meet my objectives, so I will be resigned. So, so,
now we spoke to
so
we spoke to
no, but this is after that. So to be honest, and this is really what we can notice from several years. The level of the championship is going up each year by each year. So and now it's really difficult to know who will win a championship. So it really depends of the conditions, and also we are crossing our finger because we are at home and we are doing in terms of organization. We are making everything to reduce the tirage au sort,
Hazard. No?
the effect of the, comment tu
The
dis?
effect
Draw,
of hazard.
draw.
Of hazard. So all rotation and beats will be equal. So for sure, we don't want to have to be
Depend on
to
the
not
next
win
competition.
due to a bad rotation. So for sure, we will do our best for the French people, but each team will have a chance to win this championship for sure, for sure.
awesome.
And we have very good guides also, fly fishing guide in this area. I know that most of the team are discussing, negotiating some services, guide services with some of the guides we recommended. So this is a good point. And for sure, they will have the good information to how to fish this kind of sector.
Yeah, we've got Celtic Nympha Reggie's jumped on and said, how do you think the competitor will adapt to the high altitude?
By training.
Yes, physical training. This
No.
is now. This is we have warned everybody since now 1 year that the competition will be on two leg sectors above 2,200 meter of altitude. So this is something we already discussed with the FIBS. They accepted it, and now each team is warned about this difficulty, and they have to select their member according to this difficulty.
Yeah, and in addition, we already have done some competition, some national competition in these sectors. So we already tried to make a competition at this altitude, and for each one of the member of this competition, we did not have a very big issue. Somebody are faster than others to go to the lake, but everybody has a time to go, and normally we don't have a big problem with this
No,
altitude.
this is not a difficult, or yes, difficult or hard hike.
Mm.
This is very easy.
Okay.
It's not, and usually, as Pierre said, there was no complaint from the national competitors. So I guess there will be no complaint from the international competitor. They will be very enjoyed by the landscape.
Nice. And now in France, we know we spoke to Andre from Portugal last week. Young guys who's going to be in his first World Championships this year. How's the youngsters looking in France? Do you have many young guys coming through the rankings?
We have some young guys which are fishing quite well, but I think in France and in some other countries there are some difficulties for the young to to pass from the youth category to the senior category because the difference of level is quite high. So to be totally clear, in France, we don't have several young people which can have the level of the senior team, but some of them are quite good, and some of them for sure will become the future of our national team.
And you are a good example
Yeah,
of this progression, Pierre.
and you can be
Exactly.
considered to very young, yeah.
Yes. Now,
Yeah, quite young, but not so young. Some people, this year I will have 30. So some people which are like 20 or 25 could have a good level of fishing and go into the national team.
I'm not sure if it's you, Thierry, or Pierre or Antoine, that how if people want to get into competitive fly fishing, um, what is the process to get to the actual championships, whether it's the Europeans or it's the um, World Fly Fishing Championships? What is the actual process? Where do they start, and how do they make their way there?
Okay, so until this year, so we have three divisions in France. So the first division, which is called the Promotion Nationale, which is the starting point to enter in the competition process in France. So you have a proposal of several competition, and you have to perform at least 3 or 2 competition in order to be ranked at the national level. Then they will take the 12 first of this division, and they will move to the second division, the division which is a division above. And there is only 30 competitors in this division, second division. And the last 12 of this division will go back to the Promotion Nationale at the third. So this is the mechanism we have between division. And then we have between the second division and the first division, which is really the first division, the highest level of the national competition championship. There is only 30 competitors also, and there is the same mechanism between the second division and the first division. And then, according to their results for the past 3 years, there is also another ranking made, which is called the PSM. And usually the French team members are selected amongst the 21st of this ranking, the PSM.
Okay, cool.
And they are selected according to first the nature of the championship they will compete. So the European or the World Championship or etc. And it really depends of the profile of the sector they will fish, etc. So we will make an assessment of who has the best level, the best quality to compete on that kind of sector. And then we are making a proposal to our committee, the selection committee, and we are deciding together who is part of the team.
Nice. And how many would you say in France? Is there a lot of competitors about? Not just in in general competition fishing. Are we looking at like 50 people competing in competitions, or is it 100, or is it or rough?
For the time being, it's about I should say 300, 400 people that are competing, and due to the fact that the number is increasing, especially this year, and we are hoping that after the championship it will increase more.
Yeah.
A little bit more. We have created a third division. So now we have 4 divisions, but this is specific to this year. We start with this kind of organization this year in order to reduce the number of people at the first stage.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Has anyone got any other questions? Just drop them in the chat. we'll wrap up soon. We've got. How about we've done the predictions for the teams? What about the individuals? You, any ideas? Let's have a little competition. Thierry, you can go first. You're on screen.
Yeah. So first a French, second a French, and third a French.
Well, and what?
To be honest, I don't want to put a name.
Yeah.
I cannot because each member of my team are able to win.
Yep. Awesome.
Really. So they have the quality
French,
to do
French,
it. So.
French. What about?
Yes.
What about you, Antoine? What would you say?
I really want to say French, but maybe different. I don't know.
Let's
First
see how you-
French, maybe second Spanish boy. Maybe
And
if I look at the comments, Sweden boy for the third one.
Sweden for the third. Oh, here we go. Throwing a spanner in the works there.
Yeah.
All right, let's cross to the current world number one. What's your intake, mate?
Yeah, for individual, it's much more complicated to say. But as Thierry said, I think in the French team, every member of the team can win the championship. So I really hope one of the members win. And for the other country, I think in individual we have seen a lot of country on the top three. So it's very hard to say. There can be a lot of different nationalities on the top three individual. For sure, we often saw some French, Spanish, Czech, but we can also find other. It's very hard to answer to this question.
Are we predicting a very, very close one? Are we predicting it's going to be close?
I hope maybe if the sector are very well done, and I think it will be that, we will not have a big of chance. As Thierry said, the equity will be very fine. So if that condition are right, the best fisherman could fight for the win, and it could be very close. Yeah, it could be very close.
We've got a question here near from Bob. How's the French team funded? I'm not sure if you can answer that one or not.
Yeah, it's a question for the manager.
No, it's a good question. It's really difficult for the time being to find money to participate to the championship, even in France, because we are paying as for the other team. For sure, the same price. There is no reduction for us. And usually we are finding some sponsors. They are not big sponsors. We don't have a team sponsor, a huge team sponsor. They are individual sponsor, but they are funding some team member. We have all one team individual sponsor, but not for a team sponsor. So there is no money for the team from a sponsor. We have some generous people that are giving us some money, and thank you very much for them. So yeah. We really appreciate. And then the second source for money is we are organizing a stage with some customer. We have a partnership with Dosage Fly Fishing, which is an agency that is organizing some fly fishing trip in the world, and we have a partnership with him to organize some stage with customer, and that is the main part of our funding source.
Okay, so there's maybe a good couple of tips for other teams if they're looking to do some funding, making some small events and stuff like that. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we might wrap it up there. thanks everyone for watching. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the channel and stay tuned for some more cool shows that's going to come up this year. Want to thank Thierry and Pierre and Antoine for giving up their time tonight and giving us a little insight on the World Fly Fishing Championships that's coming up in June, I believe, isn't it?
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks again. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and don't miss the next one. And sit back and enjoy this video from the World Fly Fishing Championships in Spain with the venues. Over and out.